This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our top story this evening, a new policy is being enforced on Main Street in Lakewood Ranch. The rule is geared toward children and young teens who now have to be accompanied by an adult at nighttime. ABC7's Rick Adams is joining us live from Main Street in Lakewood Ranch with more on this new policy. Rick?
Yeah, Haley, good evening. It really is a fun place here, but for those under 16, it may now be a different story. A brand new policy is now in place for Lakewood Ranch's Main Street. Anyone under the age of 16 must be accompanied by a parent or another adult after 6 p.m.
I think that's a little extreme, maybe for 16-year-olds. I can see maybe younger. You know, maybe under 12, maybe even under 13 years old.
The Main Street at Lakewood Ranch group says this policy has been implemented because of minors fighting and causing other problems, including being disrespectful to visitors and to businesses. Sierra Grant is with Lil Nancy's Barbecue at the ranch. She and many other businesses on Main Street fully support this policy.
We have had problems on First Fridays with kids, I'm assuming under 16, with kind of vandalism and things like that. They come in our back door, flick our lights off, things like that. So I'm definitely for having some parents here to help watch.
Leslie Pike is a Lakewood Ranch mother of 3 grown children. She tells us why she's not sold on this idea.
One of the things families like about this neighborhood is that they can allow their children to be up here unsupervised and feel that they're relatively safe.
The policy does state any unaccompanied visitors under the age of 16 on the property after 6 p.m. will be asked to leave the property or wait with security until their parents arrive. And we are being told that security here will be teaming up with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Reporting live from Lakewood Ranch this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Rick. An update just coming in on the condition of Representative Steve Scalise, who was shot last month in Virginia at a practice for the congressional baseball game. According to hospital staff, Scalise has been readmitted to the intensive care unit at MedStar Washington Hospital Center due to new concerns for infection. His condition is listed now as serious. Scalise was one of 5 people wounded in the shooting in Alexandria. Capitol Police shot and killed the gunman. Third time is the charm for private company SpaceX, which has successfully launched a communications satellite into the atmosphere on its 3rd try. The unmanned Falcon rocket blasted off this evening from Kennedy Space Center. Launch attempts on Saturday and Sunday were foiled by last-second technical issues. This is SpaceX's 3rd launch in 2 weeks. And the weather looked pretty much picture-perfect, Bob, for that launch out there.
Yeah, a little drier air on the East Coast right now. We're going to tap into some of that tomorrow, too, it looks like. A different story for us here on the West Coast. We had a line of intense storms pop up right around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon and then work its way up the coast, eventually through Manatee County and up into Hillsborough and Pinellas County. Now that is all off into the Gulf of Mexico. There's some tremendous amount of lightning, some pretty heavy rainfall, and winds gusting as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour here from Charlotte County northward up into Hillsborough. Right now, those storms are winding down out in the Gulf. You can still see some of the lightning flashes going on with those. No more rain anticipated over land. We'll have a slight chance for an isolated shower tomorrow. Currently, skies are beginning to clear. We have 77 on the temperature. Dew point still fairly high. Winds are out of the northeast at 6, and the pressure now at 30-15. Well, the 4th storm, tropical depression number 4, has formed out in the Atlantic right now, and it's not going to get better organized, it doesn't appear, although it's looking rather healthy right now with some overcast, central dense overcast occurring. It's still only at 30-mile-an-hour winds, and the forecast for it calls it to move out to the west-northwest at 14 miles an hour, and eventually in 5 days from now be somewhere east of the Bahamas as a tropical depression. So not too much, not very confident that this is going to be able to hold on through all this dry air and stronger winds around. Well, much more in our forecast. Talk a little bit more about tropical depression number 4 a little bit later. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Bob. 4th of July celebrations have wreaked havoc on some Suncoast sea turtles, manatees, and birds. This baby skimmer you're about to see right here was one of approximately 20 birds brought to save our seabirds over the holiday weekend. He was dazed after suffering some type of unknown impact and was in the middle of the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix race course. It was a deadly weekend for sea turtles. Mote Marine says 4 died in just 4 days. At least 1 had obvious signs of being hit by a boat. Mote Marine was called about 2 separate manatee incidences. One was simply confused after ending up swimming near other swimmers. One was gone by the time Mote had reached the area.
A lot of it we'll still have to kind of wait and see. We partner really closely with the Sarasota Dolphin Research Program, and in the past they've actually documented serious injury that did not lead to mortality in some of our local resident dolphins. So we'll have to wait and see when they get out in the field to see if they find any that have been freshly hit.
On a positive note, there were no reports of any destroyed or damaged sea turtle nests monitored by Mote Marine. 2 loggerhead sea turtles are back home in the wild thanks to SeaWorld Orlando's rescue team and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The turtles were returned to the ocean at Pineda Beach Park this morning. One of the 2 turtles had been found suffering from a wound under its flipper. The other was found with seashells in its digestive tract. Now, with a clean bill of health, the 2 are back where they belong. And remember, if you see an injured marine animal, you are asked to call the FWC hotline at the number listed on your screen, 888-404-3922, or dial FWC on your cell phone. A new deal has been made that settles a long-debated gambling dispute in the state. The state of Florida and the Seminole Tribe of Florida have agreed to end an ongoing lawsuit over whether the tribe can keep blackjack tables at its well-known casinos. The settlement will allow the tribe to keep blackjack, but will also guarantee that the state will continue to receive payments of $2 billion a year for its exclusivity. Under the agreement, the tribe will be allowed to keep blackjack tables in place for another 14 years. Florida may sever its connections to any businesses that support the current government of Venezuela. Governor Rick Scott is announcing that he will ask the trustees of Florida's pension plan to go along with a proposal that targets businesses helping the regime of President Nicolas Maduro. The proposal would force the state to stop doing business with Goldman Sachs, a bank that manages some of the state's investment. The bank owns nearly $3 billion in bonds from Venezuela's state-run oil company. A new internal medicine practice in the Newtown community is officially ready to take patients. The community gathered today to celebrate the grand opening of the Jean and Alfred Goldstein Health Center at the Sarasota Memorial Internal Medicine Practice. Officials say communities with a demographic similar to Newtown tend to have a larger number of people with preventable illnesses, which is why they say the location of this medical practice was a necessity.
We wanted was to go beyond just here's your prescription for your blood pressure or your insulin for your diabetes. So we've partnered with a tremendous group of individuals. So with the food banks, we can send our patients with diabetics so that they could get more access to more fruits and vegetables. We've partnered with Legal Aid of Minnesota so that they can provide free legal counseling on issues that impact health.
The facility is located on Martin Luther King Way and is expected to serve more than 1,800 patients in its first year. Meanwhile, patients and staff at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, the main campus today, have noticed a very different scene from the one taking place in Newtown. A group of protesters holding a demonstration in front of the hospital fighting to save Medicaid. The group gathered in front of SMH holding these signs in protest of the GOP health care bills. They say senior citizens and people with pre-existing conditions have the most to lose if Republicans pass a new health care bill. The protesters are also trying to get Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio's attention. He is a prime supporter of the move to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
Veterans are on Medicaid. What are we doing here? There's all this talk about I support the veterans from the GOP. Well, you're going to have a bunch of them sitting on the curb over there, and you're going to have mom and dad sitting on the curb over there. So this is just crazy what's going on, and this is to give a tax cut to people who already are wealthy.
Right now, President Trump is urging wavering senators to back a Republican bill and repeal and replace President Obama's health care law. But a top aide says he's holding open a repeal-only option if Republicans can't reach an agreement after the July 4th recess. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, a new escalation of the threat to the United States. the U.S. Secretary of State's response to North Korea. And a piece of evidence that has people wondering if there has been a break in a 1937 case. Did Amelia Earhart not crash after all?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Bob, as usual, we had those evening thunderstorms pretty strong in our area, and then it turned into a really pretty night.
We had severe weather warning in Hillsborough County. That was it. Close to severe weather, though. A lot of people say they had winds gusting as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour with some of the storms. Also some small pea-sized hail near Bayshore Gardens earlier this evening. All that is gone, and things are looking improving considerably across the area now that the heavy weather has moved on. I wanted to show you this excellent photo sent in from Norm Schimmel, sending this one in. This is a nice shot of the fireworks going on last night right there at Sarasota Bay. Some storms were around last night, and they were around this evening, and then it cleared just in time for this beautiful and gorgeous sunset by Art Conforti. Appreciate the photos. Keep them coming to pics at mysuncoast.com. A lot of pictures sent in, and unfortunately I couldn't get all of them on, but you can check them out at mysuncoast.com. As far as the Titan radar picture goes, some showers and storms still lingering offshore, pushing away from the coast right now. As they continue to head off into the Gulf, they will weaken and fall apart in the next hour or so. For us, skies are clearing. We had some rainfall amounts, some pretty hefty amounts at times, nearly an inch and just over that near Venice and near also Bayshore Gardens, getting up to about an inch of rainfall. Lesser amounts, but Parrish did get some rain. Lakewood Ranch, it came down heavy, got a couple different times with some extreme lightning strikes. As we saw a lot of lightning tonight with the cells as they made their way through. what we have is still high pressure situated just off the coast, and it's kind of nosing its way in right across our area. Now, there's some dry air out here, too. You'll see that in a minute. But with the wind flowing around this in an east to southeasterly direction into our area, we're going to see the collision take place with that sea breeze in the afternoon tomorrow. But since the dry air will be in place and is kind of working its way in our general direction, I don't think we're going to see as many storms. There'll still be a few, but we had quite a bit of rainfall near the coast, and that dry air moving in will kind of limit the thunderstorm activity that we would normally see during this time of year. It's 77 now, the dew point 72. Winds out of the northeast at 6, and the pressure on the rise at 30-15. The high today a couple degrees above average at 94 degrees, 4 degrees shy of the record, 98, and that was set back in 1998. And actually, we did get some rain at the airport. They don't report right now, but we did get about 1/10 of an inch there. 80 degrees in Jacksonville, 81 in Orlando, now 86 in Miami, 77 in Sarasota. Temperatures all pretty much in the 70s here, although we have a couple of 80s well inland into Highlands County right now in Sebring, Lake Placid, and Avon Park. Well, the forecast for Thursday looks like this. A chance for a few showers. It will be a hot day again. We're talking a heat index up near about 100 to 105 degrees, beginning just after 1 o'clock and continuing up until the clouds start to increase with a 30% chance for those late day showers and storms. So not as many around tomorrow. There'll still be a few. And then better chances for rain comes back over the weekend as a result of more moisture coming back into play. Thursday's forecast model checking in with some sunshine in the morning. We'll see just a few clouds and a few showers scattered about in the afternoon. And look for Friday, a little bit better chance of more rain near the coast and along that sea breeze front as it develops in the afternoon and then eventually pushes back toward the coast later on in the day into Friday evening, and similar conditions on Saturday. We talked about this earlier. We have tropical depression number 4 out there. Could become done, but it doesn't appear that it's going to have much of a chance, although it's looking rather impressive on the satellite imagery. The forecast is calling for it to move off to this west-northwesterly direction in 5 days. We'll have to keep an eye on it. By day 5, there's a chance it could slip a little bit further to the south, so we're not out of the clear yet with this system, but it's looking pretty good for us here along the west coast of Florida. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the southeast, turning to the southwest at 5 to 10 knots, and the seas will be rather light out there with a light chop. Low tide upcoming will be at 5:03 tomorrow morning, sunrise at 6:41. Evening storms winding down, skies already becoming fair, and then for tomorrow, slight chance for a shower or two, a high of 92, and the heat index at 102. The extended forecast does call for increasing chances for rain in the afternoon and evening, which is fairly typical for this time of year. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. The U.S. is now warning of possible military action after North Korea successfully launched its first intercontinental ballistic missile. U.S. officials say that missile is not one we have seen before, with the capability of reaching the U.S. The two-stage intercontinental missile shooting some 1,700 miles into space. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations is now urging global and immediate action, stressing this latest test was not just reckless, but also dangerous. For now, North Korea is vowing no negotiations. And according to the top American commander in South Korea, the only thing keeping the U.S. from going to war with North Korea is self-restraint. The Trump administration is renewing an offer to cooperate with Russia in the Syrian conflict, including on military matters, ahead of President Donald Trump's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin later this week. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson announced today that the U.S. is open to establishing no-fly zones in Syria in coordination with Russia. His comments come as Trump prepares to meet with Putin on Friday in Germany. Tillerson says U.S. and Russia cooperation would create stability in Syria as U.S.-backed forces continue their assault on the Islamic State group. It's considered one of the biggest mysteries of all time, but now a possible new explanation for Amelia Earhart's disappearance in 1937. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez shows us what the History Channel says is evidence that could rewrite history.
Setting out on the most dangerous aeronautic feat ever attempted.
80 years after vanishing as she attempted to become the first woman to fly around the world.
Weeks of search activities produced no clues. Amelia Earhart was gone.
The History Channel revealing what it says is a possible new clue that could help explain what happened to Amelia Earhart.
You think this is Amelia Earhart?
That's right.
A former federal agent saying in the National Archives he uncovered this undated photo taken on the Marshall Islands in the South Pacific.
There are only two Caucasians in the picture.
Experts analyzing the photo saying the man on the left bears a striking resemblance to Earhart's navigator Fred Noonan.
The hairline is the most distinctive characteristic. The nose is very prominent.
They believe based on comparative photos and the length of the hair, the person facing away from the camera could be Earhart. And experts say that mass being towed behind this ship matches the length of Earhart's plane. With the photo and other documents, the History Channel special airing Sunday makes the claim that Earhart may have been captured by the Japanese military. But many are skeptical.
From an aviation survivability standpoint, chances are nil
Of this being
accurate.
U.S. officials have not confirmed any of the show's claims, and a manager at the National Archives tells ABC News so far they have found no record of that picture. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Very interesting if that is true. It does make you think. That would be a totally different part of history. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's what we decided to do tonight.
He says, my son comes home and he pitched. And he goes, we lost that one. We got killed. But I struck out Casey Affleck twice, so that's okay.
Start your day with Ray, Jacqueline, and John, the new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
ABC7, My Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch My Suncoast News wherever you are. On our live stream, on our newly redesigned MySuncoast.com, and a brand new ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing Sight for Life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, and dining with recipes and all the hottest Suncoast restaurants. Visit MySuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for iOS and Android.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I am powerful beyond my wildest imagination.
I will define my future.
I will keep challenging myself to improve.
Because I am a future leader of this great nation.
I will make a difference in my community.
I will not settle for simply chasing my dreams, I will achieve them.
Because I was given a chance.
An opportunity.
At Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
The ultimate leadership experience.
Join us. We'll build a new future together.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac. Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Rays took on the Cubs at Wrigley Field this afternoon. The Rays getting on the board in the first with an Evan Longoria RBI single. Then, top of the sixth, Longoria flies out to center, but a runner will score off the tag. Tampa Bay in the lead for now, but it's short-lived. At the bottom of the sixth, Cubs rally thanks to John Jay, who goes deep to center for a 3-run shot. The game is tied, but it's not to be for the Rays. Bottom of the 8th, Anthony Rizzo steals the game with an RBI double. The Cubs win 7-3. It's day 3 at Wimbledon, and two-time champion Rafael Nadal defending champ Andy Murray and 5-time title holder Venus Williams all took center court, winning their matches and moving on into the 3rd round. Next, Nadal will play 30th seed Karen Khachanov, while Andy Murray will face 28th seed Fabio Fognini. Venus Williams powered her way through the final set to pull out a victory. This is Williams' first tournament since a 2-car crash police say she was at fault for in Florida on June 9th, in which a passenger in the other vehicle died about 2 weeks later. I apologize for any mispronunciations. Did try to find the correct ones. I know my mom will call me and tell me how I always pronounce tennis names wrong. Okay, moving on to Tour de France. Competitors were pushed to the limits in their first mountain stage of the 104th Tour de France today. And after losing 2 of its biggest stars in one horrific crash, the Tour needed a pick-me-up. A call which Italy's Fabio Aru answered when he showed that he could be the man to beat by leaving 3-time champion Chris Froome in his wake. Aru jumping from 25th to 3rd place in the standing, while overall Froome leads, followed by Geraint Thomas. But the race is not even close to being over, with 16 more days of racing to go. That is a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Support for Jay-Z's latest studio album, 444, has gone through the roof, pushing the album to become certified platinum less than 6 days after its limited release. Jay-Z's label saying in a statement that all 13 of Jay-Z's studio albums have reached the platinum milestone, making him the only hip-hop artist to ever do so. And can you imagine driving around in a glass car? Well, glassmaker Corning, they definitely can. And the type of glass they would use is already used in iPhone screens. Corning unveiled the car in New York to show off to investors. The Gorilla Glass is used in the dashboard, the center of the steering wheel, and in the center console. Even the roof is glass. The company says it is much thinner, lighter, and stronger than regular glass, a feature that could help with fuel economy. Looks pretty good, that's all I know.
I guess so, yeah, it looks sharp there.
Very sharp.
If anything's like my phone, all the glass will be broke. And then we have the replacement screens.
That's the thing, you got to get the screen protector.
Yeah,
so
I've got that. Yeah, my protector's.
And it's still broke?
Yeah, well, not the glass, but the protector.
The protector breaks. That's better than breaking the screen. Right. Yeah. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.